Wow, you've got 17,000 followers. That's quite it.
Big trade.
So looking at a mini doc on the Flash Crash Trader, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on algo trading? Is VWAP useful? Let's tackle these in the order they came in. Okay, so
Good first trade.
so algorithmic trading is
J'ai déjà une position
but it is not what most retail traders
S&P.
do. So most
ديال
retail traders
8 ديال لي كونتراكت
say that algorithmic trading is
هذه واخدة شوية swing trade
trade on those
les 3 prochaines semaines. هادشي علاش عندي هنا واحد ناقص 11000 باسكو لا بوزيسيون
Big trade.
مي كوم كيف ما قلت هادي غادي تبقى لا بوزيسيون شادة 3 سيمين ان شاء الله.
Typically doesn't work like that. So most of those algorithms are either doing arbitrage or reading order flow. So that means like there are some imbalances that you can detect in the order book where you can take a tick out or ticks out. They're like highly predictive signals, but as a retail trader, you won't be able to see
second trade going good.
And the other side is taking the assets and seeing what should be, what the pricing should be based on each other to do some sort of an arbitrage trade, right? So that's the vast majority of that kind of activity, right? And then you've got like higher kinds of algorithms, like if I execute that sort of
Big
كانت
trade.
واحد l'exhaustion.
the sort of strategies that
كاين هنا exhaustion
so those ones
qui va permettre au prix انه يطلع. السيلرز
like those are quantitative strategies that
ما باعوا والو. فوالا هادشي علاش خديت هاد لو تريد هذا. حنا دابا طالعين ديجا شويه 4 points 5 points. Il y a eu une petite réjection ici, donc directement je vais sortir. غناخد داكشي اللي عطاني المارشي مبقاش نفكر بزاف. On va attendre la prochaine opportunité, Inch'Allah. دونك هنا ما عندنا اوكان سينيال مازال تنلعبو فهاد لو رانج.
then you're free to just buy as much as you want, right? Because you're better than average price. And there was kind of some problems with that because, like, if a piece of news,
نحاولو نشوفو هاد النيفو
Big trade.
you're doing that buying, right? Well, why is it going down? Right? And what would happen is the retailers kind of caught onto this and would start actively trading against these large funds and kind of screwing them over. So the VWAP ended up being not the most
نورمالمون غادي نمشيو نقلبو على هاد ليكويديتي اللي كاينه هنا لتحت.
nothing, but
هنايا دي زورد في
it
41 4100 زعما. دونك هنايا غنمشيو سيغمون غادي نمشيو نقلبو على هاد ليكويديتي.
in 2000, I believe it was, and they said, well, if you just execute on a scheduled time slate and use separate
عندنا دي aggressive buyers اللي دخلوا لو مارشي
so that you minimize their impact on the order book.
pour le moment. On
you tend to
pousse
get better execution
vers le haut. Ouais.
than these other things like B weapons. Right?
On va essayer de prendre un trade avec eux.
Literally just randomize your executions and just don't.
Allez, allez, un autre contrat. Voilà, voilà. On pousse,
Then it'll actively
on pousse,
right. And
pousse. Un autre contrat.
the majority, well, I don't know if I would say the, yeah, I don't know
Allez,
how common it is, but I'm just saying
un
that
autre contrat.
there are algorithms there for execute
Il y a 4 contrats pour le moment.
that are more advanced than we want. So I don't think that there
Ouais,
is
on va pousser, on va pousser, on va pousser, on va
as
pousser, on va
as
pousser.
strong as it is.
On va pousser,
And I have
on va pousser.
backtested
Voilà,
you out
voilà.
a ton.
Là, voilà. Premier contrat chat. Radar, Hamza. J'ai 3 contrats maintenant.
I think that
2
it does appear
contrats.
to be a price that has some
هات وحدة. Hey, we're
it does tend
out.
to react to it and things like
Good,
that.
good, good
Now,
trade.
to the, you know,
Là, on est à combien?
I would say that it's as important as
À peu près 7000 $. Sur les
previous days low
Les-
and
sur 6 comptes. Voilà.
200-day moving averages. And all of those are just price levels. And
Pour
I've never found
combien
any
de temps?
evidence to suggest that you
10 minutes.
can
Voilà.
predict price using those price levels. Just that. The price will tend to will keep things at those. So it's almost like almost a
On va voir شنو غيطرا le niveau. Normalement غادي
just trading the spreads.
غادي نهبطو هنا شوية ضروري. ضروري.
Talking about, you know,
4 ولا 8 ديال لي تيك ديالنا.
small operations in your book
Yep.
that can give you really
يب.
those happen really
يب.
fast, right?
علي. صراحة ما عجبنيش هاد اللعب اللي لعبنا
So
شوية.
there's kind of another area here that you can get into.
تكون هنا واحد لا ريجكسيون باسكو هنا كانت واحد الامبالانس ريفرسال هنايا. دونك سي سيغ غادي تكون واحد
Big trade.
kinds of sets of books.
بيج تريد اللي دخل.
So
C'est pas bien pour nous.
Pour la position. The treasury is somewhat affected by what's going on in equities. If equities are going down, then you're going to see a bit life safety in the treasury. But treasuries is also going to be affected by what the treasuries are doing. They're going to be affected by what the currencies are doing, what the dollar is doing, and so forth. And so,
Big
there might be
trade.
some sort of a relationship between two
Allez.
assets that, given the
Allez.
current situation, don't actually make sense, right? And so there can be situations where you, with your brain and your ability to carry out fuzzy logic and so forth, you can be watching a bunch of instruments and identify these kinds of temporary mispricings in value to be able to do something similar to arbitrage. So these are the sorts of things that
Big trade.
teach you, right?
Big trade.
So there's that, and then there is also
There is a lot of
stylized
buying.
behavior in your that I talk about in my stylized behavior of markets that is part of my order flow and dom trade for beginners. Video playlist. Okay, that's like the second to last video in this.
Allez.
Absorption resistant.
Big trade.
Behaviors are
On achète chaque
while price tends to be,
absorption.
like very random. There are some of these behaviors that you'll see in flow that are incredibly consistent. So you can try trading off of those. Now, like I said, those sorts of things in terms of like those providing an edge. The ones that like really objectively provide an edge, people trade them, right? And they're very competitive, and so you have to be really, really fast to get them. Right? So what we're doing instead is we're saying, well, okay, I can't make money.
Boum, 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 boum. On va sortir nos contrats. Voilà, reversal les compensation.
Because I'm not competitive with them.
Voilà, reversal les compensation. Vas-y. Voilà. Sortir avec les contrats. On va laisser un contrat. Allez, allez, allez. Normalement, on doit chercher le niveau 1. Chercher le niveau 1. Vas-y. 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 Vas-y.
We can use all of the information that we have about the context of the day to make predictions about what the future will be able to predict the move before it happens and jump on board that, right? Okay, so scalping the order book, my opinion, really, really hard to make money just doing, but it can be a part of the strategy. When is VWAP usually anchored? End of day. Okay, so typically speaking, when people talk about the VWAP, they're talking
De serment.
From the beginning of the
Cerner tous les contrats.
which kind of leads to all sorts of interesting things when you get into the S&P 500 futures, because do we
Allez, ouais. Un petit trait ici. Petite réjection.
Absorption resistance zone.
C'est effectivement ce que j'ai pris. Il y a une petite résistance ici, donc j'ai pris un short. Je sors 7 points. On est bien.
Which one works better? I don't know. Like, that's the whole thing is I backtested these sorts of things and I don't see any difference. It's just noise. So when people ask me, that's one of the most common questions that I get asked in private messages. It's like, when should I start my view up and stuff like that? So I don't think it really matters. I don't know if it really matters, honestly, though. I've never been able to find some sort of stat that suggests it's better, that it's more or less predictive signal.
Ah oui, on pousse, on va pousser cette fois, on va pousser. On va pousser. Il y a la liquidité. On va casser cette fois, on va casser vers le haut.
Big trade.
A place where I have an asymmetric
Big trade.
Yep.
That's similar, right? How do you find that? You know, people assume that these things, you know, they'll go and they'll say, oh, this seems to work, and so they'll go and they'll start trading that.
Ah, j'ai pas aimé de la réjection. Allez, pousse. Voilà. On laisse un contrat. On a pris les liquidités légales là. Allez, on est déjà à 14 points, 15 points. Allez. Let's go.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. All of these instruments are going to sell hardcore. Right?
Alors, pour 15 minutes de travail, on est à peu près. We're up so big. Mais on a tradé un petit peu agressivement. Ouais.
behave the way that we expected, we might be able to look at the positioning and so on and so forth to help us understand why it didn't actually do, right? But we would have to analyze those flows, right? And I want to look for the things that are going to push it, that are actively going to
Alors, on est à 16 000 pour la journée. 16 800
Big trade.
net.
It's a tendency to
C'est déjà pas mal.
this sort of
Pour 15 minutes de travail.
a real understanding of I now would right.
هنا عندنا واحد لا دلتا ديفرجنس. pour ça que je suis là.
That's the thing. The best edges are the
الربطة
things
هذه
that
نحاولوا ناخدو البول باك في النيفو هذا.
just some.
نحاولوا ناخدو البول باك في النيفو وهابطو مع البايرز. هاي أمور فوالا 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 فوالا. هاي
Are
Push.
that could just be coincidence.
طيب غادي ناخدو. طيب غادي
Big trade.
فوالا فوالا.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
what it is with you. It's like it's just like
جو بريفير انني ناخد واحد ويتيك ولا عشرة ديال لي تيك على انني نبقى لا بوزيسيون.
such a big view off you bounce a little bit.
وي دي فوا راه تتمشي وغادي تجيب ليا دي تيك وحده اخرى مي جو بريفير انني ناخد دي تيك على انني ناخد واحد. سي ما فاصون دو تريدي.
Is that actively does that? Never seen that. My own back testing. Just that it wasn't really that useful. And there were some times where I thought that I did have something that suggested they were a certain way, and what I found was that I just didn't have enough data. So that's another issue. Like I could back test these kind of stuff, but I could only do like 2 years worth of data. So you know. Yeah, the number of quote AI experts that have emerged since the launch of ChatGPT is outstanding. Can I complain about something? That just reminds me of this thing is like, it's so easy for people to come and portray themselves as an expert something on social media now
Big trade.
that it's like
Big trade.
keeping it that
On pousse vers le haut. Oh.
Yes, they didn't know what
Alors, des fois, c'est bien de garder la position, mais comme j'ai dit, c'est pas comme ça que je
Absorption
traite.
resistance zone.
Pas comme ça que je traite.
suppose that would say the same thing as like, what is it that makes you qualified to be the influencer?
Un petit pullback. Allez,
Big
voilà.
trade.
On pousse 7 points. I'm out.
My camera turned off. I have a
Imbalance support zone.
So in the meantime, I'm just gonna move my screen and you'll only be able to hear me. Anyways, I just decided that my thing
Chaque
was
fois fait le
finance,
niveau,
that I
tu
was going
comptes-
to learn as much as I could
On
about
scellait.
and then I created this YouTube channel as a video
Allez,
journal for a contest, and people liked it.
on prend les points
You know,
là.
I feel like I got coerced
fait.
into being an
On est
expert.
bien.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And the thing that makes me crazy is that I sit here and it's like, look, this is not like imposter syndrome. Okay, what I'm talking is not about imposter syndrome. What I'm talking about is like I know a lot of things, and I know that there are a lot of things that I could research more about, but you know I haven't had the time to get into yet, sort of a thing, right? And I know that there are these guys at institutions that's basically all they do all day. And so of course they know more than I do about it, right? So it's not imposter syndrome in my opinion so much as it is kind of knowing where you're at. and realizing that even if you were those other guys that
Big trade.
seem to know practically
On
everything,
prend,
that
on
the
prend,
amount
on
that you
prend
have
ça,
compared
on
to the
prend
overall
ça,
market
on
is
prend
so
ça.
minuscule, right?
Allez,
So it really
allez,
bothers me when I see people that
allez,
literally
allez,
knowledge
oui,
and experience
point.
than myself themselves out as like these huge
Yeah.
experts
Ou de buyers à le
when
niveau,
it's
voilà.
so
Ça
clear
veut
to
dire
me
rien
that
de
they
fait.
don't have a clue.
Big trade.
On est bien.
Crazy.
I'm out.
It's people that are like they're investing experts and they basically they just tell you to put your money in an index fund. I don't need an expert to tell me that your best return for your retirement is in an index fund, right? Nobody needs an investing advisor if that's what the situation is, right? You need an investing advisor when your needs are more complicated than that. And these people that I see online talking about that stuff, you're not qualified to talk about that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't know am I qualified to talk about this stuff? I mean, I have the Series 65 now, and I need to create my own
Big trade.
investment advisor business, and so I suppose that I will be able to, but probably be a long time before I really have the experience, to really be a super expert.
Absorption support zone.
Absorption.
What
Il y a une
is
absorption,
trade.
donc faut prendre directement le trade, faut pas trop penser.
understands
Allez.
that I was not necessarily
Push.
happy with the path that I took.
Push. Yeah.
Because
6 points.
basically what happened to me
6
was
points.
I went
We're
into
out.
computers, and at the end of it, what I realized
We're
was
out.
I probably could have learned programming on my own, gone into finance instead, or gone into quant finance, and tried to get into a school like in Chicago, and then
Yep. Un autre trade,
straight into
rapide.
trading.
Achète un pullback. Allez. 4, 5, 6 points.
And I tried
I'm
coming
out.
into the technology side, and I never did. I thought I did really good at the firm. And the fact that I don't know what happened, but they did one to apply for a job, and it was kind of because I asked the person that was hired for that job, like, how did I get referred? And they're like, oh, you applied. Somebody told me, I didn't respond back to them, but somebody told me to, and I don't know why. I don't know that person.
On va voir, on va casser le niveau عاوتاني. Si on casse ce niveau, on va chercher 4120. عاوتاني, il y a beaucoup de sellers sur le niveau. On rejette. هنا دخلوا شوية البايرز. Imbalance. On verra.
Big trade.
On reject.
So that's super cool, right? But I didn't get to trade for them, right? So I think that it seems to me though that
Si on casse ça avec force, on va chercher
Big trade.
4120.
right
4100.
which means that
chercher le
you have
niveau.
to be going to a program
عندنا liquidity
where
في
the
هذا النيفو.
banks are actively recruiting
لا
for those things.
275. عندنا
That's
liquidity هنا بزاف.
which probably means like going to the ones that I know, or at least I
C'est sûr qu'on va chercher le niveau. C'est sûr غادي نمشيو نجيبو هاد liquidity هنا.
United States are the University of Chicago and what is it called, the
Big trade.
School of Business in New York. Those are two programs that are pretty good. Might give you a good
Imbalance resistance zone.
trading.
Allez.
But
Allez.
I didn't
Allez.
I just did technology.
Ouais,
Now, if you want to just do technology,
كيما قلت لك احنا غاديين بور لو نيفو
you just
الاخر.
go.
حيدنا ليكويديتي اللي كانت هنا، دونك غادي نمشيو نقلبو على هاد لا زون هادي، غادي نمشيو ليها سي سيغ.
It adds bull where
A
they're
lot of buyers, a
Imbalance
lot of
support zone.
buyers, a lot of buyers effectivement. احنا حيدنا داك لو نيفو،
you're
هاهي 275 اللي كانت عندنا في الليكويديتي هاهي مشات، حيدنا هنايا ابوبخي هنا تقريبا 300 400 500 600 على 700 كونطرا اللي دخلت في هاد لو نيفو هذا. دونك نحاولو ناخدو البول باك باش نكملو لا مونتي ديالنا، نحاولو ناخدو البول باك في هنا 17 ما بين 16 17 في هاد لو نيفو هذا.
email.
إلا مشى لو بري ما غاديش نتبعو، سي با غاف. كان عندي تا هاد لو نيفو مي جو بريفير هاد لو نيفو.
University. Yeah. Oh, that's not in New York. That's in Pennsylvania.
There's a lot of buyers، بزاف ديال الشرايات يشريو هنا بزاف.
Which actually was your hero.
غنمشيو نقلبو على 25.
Because he kind of did that stuff right. That's one of the things that I've had a hard
نمشيو
time
نقلبو
because
على لو نيفو
there doesn't seem to be very good information online about
إيه هو هذا.
this. Back up there really nicely. How much delta was on that? -50 to -43. So another 10,000 contracts long.
Pour le moment j'ai aucun signal.
Absorption resistance. Absorption resistance zone.
The schools
Absorption
Normalement les sellers
resistance zone.
Il y a une petite bataille ici entre sellers et
Absorption
buyers.
resistance zone.
Je préfère pas rentrer. Marche. Ce qui va se passer. Pour moi la zone اللي مزيانة هي لا زون acheter. Essayer de vendre في هاد النيفو.
Because they have a lot of back office in Salt Lake City, right?
دونك مشينا ديريكتومون ل 125.
And so
غادي نحيدو الليكويديتي في 125 سي سور.
they have technology
نشوفو
in Salt Lake City, right? So
ما كاينش سيلرز نهائيا،
your science.
Imbalance.
Big
ما
trade.
كاينش سيلرز. حيدنا effectivement
Absorption resistance zone.
حيدنا الليكويديتي اللي كانت هنايا. ها هو لو تريد 233 effectivement
Big trade.
كانت هي توجور دي اغريسيف بايرز بزاف بزاف.
Probably could have done that if I had really tried to get into a place like Google or
سي
Microsoft.
با غاف نورمالمون وي وشريت هنا غنمشي في هاد
Because we'll certainly
عندي هنا
have,
واحد 14 ولا 15 بوان.
you know, as capable as my friends that I saw that went to those places. And but or it was either that or go into video game development, which would mean going to which you know if I had followed career path that I wanted to, that I had planned on going into in school, most likely I would be at Apple.
On achète, on achète, on achète, on achète, on achète, on achète. On fait que acheter في le niveau.
Our game right now.
C'est sûr. غادي نزيدو نطلعو. نمشيو نقلبو على 130.
Into
نمشيو نقلبو على هاد النيفو هذا.
Finance, right? So
La position ديالي اللي كنت قابل la semaine prochaine في ال S&P
there wasn't as much competition.
كتصبح moins
I was really well qualified
Moins
anyways too.
là on est à moins 3
Really strong interest in back.
normalement عندي الافريج في 130 تقريبا donc une fois sur 130
So it was almost like, oh,
je serai في le break even mais c'est une position اللي je vais garder à peu près 3 semaines ou 4 semaines.
another person could take the same path that I did, but it's
عندنا بزاف ديال البايرز كما تشوفوا هنايا
path that I
بزاف
would really get very many people to
on fait que acheter في هاد le niveau.
goals are, right? I'll be starting college next year and was wondering whether I should go to finance right away or do computer science because I read a lot about firms looking to hire. So you have